So everybody's going to need to pass the test of the parent function and the critic function. In the ISTP, those are the sensing functions. ISTPs can be very critical about their own loyalty. When we're younger, that can be really bad for us because we can stick around too long to people who really don't deserve our loyalty. So my friend, she has an ISTP son. He's a teenager, and so he had a girlfriend, and his girlfriend told him, oh yeah, if I wasn't with you, I'd be with that guy. He dumped her because no, like, especially as a man, respect is like super duper important. I mean, as a female ISTP, respect is very important, but to men, it's like just a little bit more, you know, because women love is a little bit more. Men need respect just a little more than they need love, and it's different for women. So I noticed with myself, like, if I'm in that stage where it's like I'm thinking about, like, maybe I want to date this person, and they make a comment like, oh yeah, I like big boobs, and I just like stare at girls' boobs or something. Okay, to me, I'm just like, okay, well, I don't have big boobs, and the last thing I want to do is be with someone who like is wishing I had big boobs, or he's always staring at other girls' boobs. Nope. Don't pass the test of the critic. Nope. And when I'm dating someone and like, okay, how are they towards other women? Are they like looking at other women? Are they like giving other women like special attention? How are they talking about women? Oh, she's so gorgeous. Nope. Like, that's anything that's going to make me feel potentially insecure or make me question their loyalty to me. That's not going to last very long. Like, SE parent is going to become super watchful. Like, I could totally trust the guy a lot, and then he says things like that, or I see something, and I mean, SE parent, it sees things. I mean, it's really vigilant. And I do like to investigate. Like, I don't like to just make assumptions, because I don't like it when people make assumptions to me. But like like it's super important, super important. Like, if you say something about another woman, like, you better clarify. Like, I remember me and someone were like in a relationship, right? And we were talking about a mutual friend, and he said, yeah, I love her. And I'm thinking, okay, I really do not like that. Like, that's not cool. And then he followed it up with, not the way I love you. Not the way I love you. So I was like, okay, for the save. And it's like, you know, having someone that just understands that, and I don't have to like spell it out all the time, that's really nice. It's really nice. And it causes me to trust him more. Or like, you know, it's just super important to clarify things, be super clear, because the last thing you want to do is be in a relationship with someone and you don't feel safe, or you're feeling insecure a lot of the time. Like, in my opinion, you should be with someone who goes out of their way to make sure you feel safe and you feel secure and you feel loved and you feel respected and you feel cherished, you know, all that. And it goes both ways. The man to the woman to the man. Like, relationship is sacred to me, because it's so hard to actually find anyone to be in a committed relationship, in like a real, even a friendship. Like, it's so hard. It's really hard to find people that you can really connect with and trust And so when you find that, it's like, you know, I know my worth, and if that person is not treating me how I'm worth, like, no. And, you know, as an ISTP, you have to learn how to express in a way that feels respectful to the man your feelings. You don't want to sound demanding or anything like that. It's like, okay, I mean, you're free to do what you want, but also if I don't feel respected, like, I'm free to leave. You know, it's kind of like, I don't ever put restrictions on anyone. I fucking hate anyone putting restrictions on me. And a child, no, I will not be happy. I always like to give people a lot of freedom, because then you see, okay, what do they do with that freedom? What do they do with it? So that's super important. So like in a relationship, there's like something that happens. My SI critic kind of was like, oh my God, that's not okay. Like, I don't really want to share the details of this, but what happened was not okay. And the man was kind of like laughing, and I'm just like, okay, so I'm frozen and I'm silent, and I'm like, I'm thinking in my head, like, oh my God, like, I don't know if this relationship can continue. That's not okay. And he doesn't seem to be taking this very seriously. Like, fortunately, he's a smart man, and he read the silence, he read the room, and then, you know, he commented like, you're really like frozen right now. And so I shared how I felt, and, you know, obviously there was a problem, and he verbalized that he understood, and he fixed the problem immediately. And so all my doubts and fears and all that, okay, gone, forgiven, totally forgiven. It's in the past. I feel safe again. I respect you for like taking action right away. Like, find someone like that. Wow. Like, don't let them go. Someone who like puts in that effort, and he's not all about words, because words are cheap. Talk is cheap without action. Words don't mean shit without action. So finding someone that takes the action, takes your concerns seriously, super important. And it just, like, for me, it just causes me to respect the man, because I can see he's putting forth the effort. He's taking action, you know, his sensing functions, because it's so important. The relationship cannot continue if they don't pass the test of the critic. The critic needs to see effort. It needs to see effort in the SI critic needs to see effort in the SI, the other person's SI. Doesn't matter what, like if it's the inferior function or whatever, they need to see it. That's important. So, and you know, if there's anything that happens, it's like TI is gonna process everything. My SI is gonna look back to all the past memories, because ISTPs are really good investigators, really good detectives, like just thinking through things. Like, we remember things that are important to us. And so I'll think through all these things, like, okay, that happened, that wasn't okay, that happened, that was okay. This is a kind of pattern. And then SE parent, it's gonna get super hyper vigilant, because now that the trust is being questioned, SE parent, like, it's gonna be looking at everything, monitoring everything. everything. Questioning, TI is going to question everything. ISTPs can't help it. We have TI. But I mean, even as a 4, like I'm an Enneagram tri-type 469, triple doubt. And I even question my own Enneagram type. Like, I mean, not now, but like I came to the conclusion that I'm a 4 is pretty, like, that's the one that just made me cry and feel all this pain. And it's like, yeah, I'm definitely a 4. But then I've also went back quite a few times and been like, okay, well, what if I'm really a 6? What if I'm really a 9? Like this other 4 was like, you're a 9. And I was like, no, I'm not. Like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But I went and read through the chapter on the 9 in my book that's like 30 pages. And I read through it and I was like, I'm not a 9. Not a 9. I'm definitely a 4. But anyway, yeah, it's annoying when people are like, that's not the type you are. And it's like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Like, do you know how much I introspect? Like, I've been introspecting all my life. So, and that doesn't mean I'm a 4. I'm just saying, like, I have thought through so many things so many times. And, you know, since I can't remember, like, a lot of details about a lot of things, what my brain will do is it, I'll remember, like, a label about a person. So when I say that guy was a narcissist, that is the label, because that pretty much sums up his behavior and all the shit I went through. So it's like, I don't really want to hang on to all those bad memories. I want to let that shit go. I want to let that shit go. I don't want to dwell on all that negative shit. Like, I learned the lessons I needed to learn, moving on. That guy is now branded a narcissist, you know, so I'll brand people, and it doesn't mean they can't, like, be rebranded, whatever. They're not objects, they are people, but it's just it's a way to simplify it in my brain. Like, okay, that person's annoying, that person's really smart. Like, if I think someone is really smart, I'm gonna want to ask some questions. I'm gonna want to hear their feedback. I'm gonna want to, because I want to learn. I love learning, and I know that there's so much I don't know. I know that you know, my thoughts and my opinions, like, I like it when people challenge them. But if someone, I don't think they're that smart, it's gonna be a lot harder for me to listen to them. But if I know that they're an intelligent human being, yeah, I'm gonna really want to listen to them, even if I don't like what they're saying. But even if someone I believe is highly intelligent, doesn't mean they're always right, you know? So I learned to listen to my own wisdom, because, like, you know, when you talk to your friends about things and then they give their feedback, their opinions, it's like, you need to trust yourself, because 469, that's triple doubt. So, like, I doubt others, I doubt myself, and I learned how to trust myself. And that's super important, because nobody else has all the information that I have about my own experiences. So it's kind of silly to, like, give other people so much power when they don't know, they don't have all the information. So anyway, yeah, it's super important to pass the test of the parent and the critic. And as C.S. Joseph says, the natural pair is, like, the hardest relationship to get into. And, you know, it's because the parent and the critic, the tests have to be passed by the inferior and the demon function. And those functions are really difficult to master. So that's why I say, like, if an ISTP is going to be in a romantic relationship with, like, an ENTP or an ENFP, I mean, you both got to be, like, mature and developed, because, like, I've been in a relationship with an ENFP before, and he was, like, early 20s and I was, like, late 30s. And it was confusing, because it's like, you're so young. Like, I would never date someone this young, but it's weird because I have these feelings, and, like, it was super weird, but of course I'm gonna be honest with him, like, look, I feel really confused, like, we can see like what happens with this, but I just want to let you know I'm really confused, and I don't know if I see like a long-term future, but I'm willing to see like where this goes, what happens. And really, it ended because he just couldn't pass the test of my critic. He couldn't. It wasn't his fault. It wasn't his fault, and it wasn't my fault. I didn't really fully understand type at that time because it was still kind of new, and it was my first time experimenting with dating an ENFP, knowing that it's an ENFP. But yeah, so that's why I say, like, and even C.S. Joseph, he said, yeah, don't even mess with an ENFP under the age of 37. And yes, I've experimented with that. That seems to be true. It really does. Same with ENTP. I've had a few experiences with ENTPs. You know, there was one I dated like 10 years ago from my soccer team. I'm pretty sure he was an ENTP. He was from Iran, but he was here, and he was a very progressive type of guy. But he couldn't pass the test of my critic. But he was the first man who ever made me feel like I was respected. I'll never forget him for that. And I think that's the thing with ENTPs that I notice, like, you know, when they're healthy or like good people, they understand respect. Like, they're not the type that's gonna like take advantage of you when you're drunk or something. No, they're not gonna do that. I mean, unless they're just a total piece of shit, but that's not been my experience. Like, that's not been my experience with ENTPs. ENTPs, they're caring, they're empathetic, they're not gonna take advantage of you in that way. Delta Quadra, ENFP, ESTJ, ISTJ, INFP, those people can be super entitled, and like they will feel like they can like use your body or sell you, or it's pretty awful. I mean, of course there's different, some are worse than others, some are better than others. But I definitely like listening to C.S. Joseph's videos on like the quadras, and like, you know, his videos, like I see with my own experiences what he's saying is true. It is true. And I feel safe with ENTP, with my ENTP. He makes me feel safe because I can see he has a very high character. He's very caring and loving and accepting. Like, I feel accepted 100%. And I mean, it's like, I've never been in a relationship before where it's just been unbelievably like so many positive things to say about it. So many positive things to say about it. Like, I'm so happy. I feel so grateful. I feel so grateful. I feel appreciated. I feel loved and respected. And it's not that we've ever had like our little bumps along the way, but like it's mostly harmonious. Like, it's nice. It's really nice. It's peaceful and it's loving, and it's like hard to, like, I don't know. It's like an FE person with an FE person. I don't know. It just seems safer, because the way I see FI users, they can be super selfish. Super selfish. I'm sure they judge us in a certain way too. They see us in a certain way, but like, I don't want to be with someone that's selfish. I don't want to be with someone that takes advantage of me, who like tries to manipulate me all the time. Like, No. So this was supposed to be about the critic functions and all that, and then, it just turns into other things. But I walked up this big mountain, and it's gorgeous. It's like I'm surrounded by like mountain, forest, like green. I'm on an Indian reservation right now, and there's nobody around, and it's so cool. I know I use the word cool a lot, like deal with it, but this is lovely. It's lovely. But anyway, yeah, if you have comments, please comment, or like if I ever say something that's like wrong or inaccurate, or you want to ask a question about something for me to answer, like yeah, I'll do my best. But yeah, let me show you what I'm looking at here. There's mountains all around, and there's like a fire station down there, and so yeah,